Welcome Pisces to your reading. Thank you for clicking on my video. I very appreciate it to have you here on board. Pisces, this is going to be a reading for the month of November 20 and 22. I was pulling runic cards, angel oracle cards, soul's journey oracle cards, earth magic, and later on you're also going to see I was pulling some tarot cards for you for, more details. So Pisces, what I see here for the month of November overall, you kind of like being in a situation where you might have you might be dealing with struggle and conflict. This is what I see with the runic cards. I was pulling Theseus and Cronus for you, and they're both in the reverse. So you have a couple cards in the reverse, which shows me you work a lot you know uh on your inner powers, kind of like, let's say. And I also see it you move towards that with passion. So let me explain you a little bit more what the runic cards Tertius means when I'm talking about struggle and conflict. So it says you should not fear pain, and you should have courage in your situation. Especially when it comes to completing a challenge in your situation. Maybe it is something where you have to take a risk in order to win. So it's kind of like facing your wild side. And why I'm laughing is like I was also with the earth magic pulling the volcano. So, but we're gonna talk about this in a second. With the struggle and conflict card combined with the volcano, it's kind of like showing me you should focus on kind of like your attention on how you react to change. So clear your thoughts for that. And again, with the corners, it talks about passion, fire, light, heat. It can also talk about destruction, as you see again with the earth magic oracle cards I was pulling here. With the soul's journey cards, I was pulling adversity in the reverse. So it talks about that I accept challenges because they are the best way to learn, right? To grow and to learn out of it. With the relationships in the reverse, it talks about I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. Maybe you've been through relationships, and you're Pisces, so you really like you dive deep, and you are you like it when you have like relationships or people around you who are also are on the same page or want to reach the same you want. So with the friendships card in the upright, it talks about that I have the understanding that I have friends in my life for a reason. So this could be the case with the earth magic oracle cards Pisces. It talks about with the volcano, again, about your reaction, kind of like to circumstances and situations. But what it also shows, if maybe you can see the two faces in there, the kind of like the connection to the sacred energy. So what I mean is like, when a volcano goes off, it also forms new land, right? So kind of like it is when you go dive deep inwards, you might gonna find some new sides of yourself you haven't seen before. And this is gonna put you in the dance celebration mood, which is kind of like awesome. But you will see more with the tarot cards in a second. Pisces, keep in mind those are general readings, so it may or may not resonate with all of you. Take what does and just leave the rest. Let's take a look at your spread, what I was pulling for you for the month of November 20 and 22, Pisces. You have in total four major arcana cards laying down here, and four talks about stability. And maybe you can see it right away. You got two major corners, kind of like in the reverse. So it talks about an imbalance, okay? And later on at the end, you have also two major corner cards, which shows me the opposite, so towards balance. Let's get started with the Nine of Swords, your first card in the reverse. It talks about, racing or having torturous thoughts, sleepless nights, kind of like your mind is in an overdrive mode. With the Nine of Swords, it can also indicate that there's like some distress, I'm sorry, nightmares, and, maybe some passive aggression. That's why I was talking so much about the volcano. Anyways, it can show that there's like, a feeling of anger against yourself, or being angry about yourself in a way. It definitely, wants you to know that peace comes in when you're unfolding yourself, like the lotus flower, okay? With the King of Wands in the reverse, it can talk about a fire sign you're dealing with, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, or Pisces. You have fire somewhere in your chart, okay? But the King of Wands is talking about a spiteful and ruteful personality, especially in the reverse, and somebody who's using authority and also intimidation to get what they want. With that being said, this can somebody be who's like kind of like more boosting their ego. So emotions could be, in this case, going somewhere out of control, especially when it's like when we're talking about abusive situations. And I see it with the Justice in reverse, so something is unfair here. It can also talk about a disruption or a pause in your work, in your job. It is also talking about that something um is getting caught in a one-sided situation. So take it how it resonates for you, Pisces, please. But it definitely tells you that you must bring light to the truth, whatever that means for you. It is kind of like also saying you shouldn't make too too quick any judgments against yourself or others, and also that there's a need for logical thinking. With the Fool in the reverse, Pisces, it talks about that there's some hesitation when kind of like opportunities are coming in, and down there you also have the Seven of Cups, which is kind of like the card normally for having options and opportunities offered to you, right? So the Fool in reverse talks a little bit about like lack of trust. Maybe you're not trusting yourself right now at the moment. It can also talk about that you're worried about what other people thinking, like regarding to your occupation, for example. So in other words, what you're doing, right? And with the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, somebody is maybe not willing to share good fortune here, is being stingy. So it can also talk about that money is being spent without making enough to pay your bills at the end of the month. With the Three of Pentacles in the reverse, as I said, you have a lot of reverse cards here in your spread. But the Three of Pentacles in the reverse talks about when somebody is not willing to share responsibility or workload. So I don't know if that's you or another person you're dealing with in your situation. But as I said, it talks about not wanting to collaborate with others. So maybe that's why you had the relation and the friendships cards popping up, if you remember. So just keep that in mind. It is definitely telling you that there's a need to listen up and, just let other people's opinion in. But let me let's have that keep that in mind, because it there's a little twist in it, okay? You're gonna see that, or I'm gonna explain that later with the other tarot cards here. So it can also mean that maybe somebody is um jealous here about other people's success, so you or another person. But with the Seven of Cups, as I said, it is in the reverse talking about that you're feeling, or somebody's feeling shut out of a situation. And I think that's maybe you, because you have it under the Nine of Swords. And I apologize, I have to get this one up right. So anyways, it is like, something where you're being unable to decide. As I said, it's kind of like the Fool in the reverse again, feeling like you're out of options. And with the Three of Wands in the reverse, it is kind of like it wants you to rethink your parameters of your partnerships. As I said, you had the relationship and friendship cards up in with the oracle cards. So it can definitely has to do something with that. So you should make sure that you also get a good end of a deal. And it also wants you to let you know that you do not need to prove yourself, as you remember with the Fool card in the reverse. So open your mind and look for new solutions in your case. With the Four of Wands in the reverse, it can talk about this disruption. As you remember, you had the Justice in the reverse here, right over it. So it says you should take a step back and try to have a bird's eye view on that situation. So observe and check, okay? Plan careful if you're planning some, celebrations or so, that everything runs smoothly. And with the Eight of Swords in the reverse, there's your turning point, kind of like in this reading, Pisces. Pisces, my little Pisces. Listen, with the Eight of Swords in the reverse, it is kind of like you there were maybe past formed restrictions. I mean, I don't know if it was yourself doing this to you, or the situation, but this is not longer holding you back. So maybe that's why the spices, I like it. It kind of like gives you the power to turn the Fool in the upright, and you're free to move forward and to embrace the new transformation in November. So the swords kind of like, as you see with your first card, are not longer holding you back, okay? It was kind of like forming a prison around your consciousness. And with the High Priestess in the reverse, it shows me you go inwards, okay? Number two, it is the number two in the major arcana card. So again, it too talks about balance. So you consider first, Pisces, what you really want before you listening to other people's. That's why I was like talking a little bit around it with the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. So first you listen to yourself, and then you let other people's opinion in, okay? So take your time to get to know yourself again, okay, if that's necessary. And remember that the answers you need are deep within you, okay? So going inwards and uncover them. And with the Judgment, your last card, and also a major arcana card in the upright. So you have in total two cards here in the upright, and this is the Nine of Swords and the Judgment card, okay? And the Judgment card is your wake-up call. So there's no going back. That's an undeniable change. It's like, when you haven't evolved, Pisces, there's the you you're not the old you anymore, right? You discovered more power than you thought you would have. Like, it's kind of like you see possibilities beyond your expectations. It talks about a new reality. It appears to let you know that everything inside, so your consciousness again, woke up, has changed, even if the outside hasn't changed yet. So that's very powerful, Pisces. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, if this video helps you. Comment and subscribe to my channel. I would very appreciate you to have you on board. I wish you a wonderful month ahead, Pisces, and I see you in the next one. Much love. Bye bye.